over the weekend, Jason Aldean was having a concert in Chicago, and a bunch of radical commies came out and burned an American flag in protest of his performance here. It says
whoever sells Amazon
flags,
like U.S. flags that are made of plastic makes a lot of money off these people.
Yep. It says a communist revolutionary group burned American flags and chanted anti-U.S. slogans during a disturbing staged protest outside a Jason Aldean concert in Chicago on Saturday night. Around 20 communists belonging to Revolution Club Chicago assembled outside Credit Union 1 Amphitheater in Tinley Park, shouting the phrase "F the USA" in all its might as they torched the flags, according to a video shared by News to Share. My favorite part about this, guys, and this is just it tickled me in a funny way, was seeing TMZ with this headline: Jason Aldean protested by commies in Chicago.
Well, I mean, it's totally fair journalism because they are self-described communist organization, quote unquote, dedicated to resisting oppression. The oppression of pop country singers everywhere.
They're out to get you. And Revcom is like a legit party. So the guy, Bob Avakian, who is like the head of the group, who this group is like, they hold him in the highest regard. So they see him in the same way that they talk about his cult of personality, the way that Stalin and Mao were seen, and how a lot of them see Donald Trump. He's like their own version of that, except with no charisma. And it's really funny because he got arrested for burning an American flag in the 70s outside of like in a public square.
There used to be enforcement against that.
Yeah. And then also also burning a flag outside of the Republican National Convention in 2016. So it's really funny because like on the
at least that was like actual political activity and not just like gay whining outside of a country concert that's incredibly like corporatized. But this one protester was quoted in the Chicago Tribune saying, "Guess what, Jason Aldean? We will try that in a small town. We'll try that in a big city. And we will try it right in front of your concert."
Got him.
Ooh. You're really scary. You're so intimidating. Yeah. Another one said, "This song reminds me of stories of young men like Trayvon Martin, Ahmaud Arbery, who were killed by white vigilantes." Come on.
And what Andrina says, who got arrested for burning flags? So the leader of this group, his name was Bob Avakian, got arrested for burning an American flag in 1970.
Well, I assume there's a new leader today.
No, he's still in charge. He's still in charge.
Okay. Was he there? Was he present?
He was not there today, but there was signs all over that saying
like watch his interviews.
Watch Bob Avakian. Yeah.
Well, let's watch the video of them chanting and stuff.
Okay, here we go.
The whole history of this country. Jason Aldean said, "Try that in small town when we did it at his fucking concert." That's right.
So Bob Avakian couldn't be bothered to show up to his own protest? Tisk tisk.
Fuck the U.S. and all its might. Fuck humanity, we will fight.
Did they say fuck humanity? Oh, they expect to be taken seriously.
Tinley Park Police Department. I am declaring this to be an unlawful assembly which has alarmed and disturbed others. You are disturbing the public peace without the authority of law. Continuing to participate in this assembly will result in your arrest and prosecution for violations of the criminal code. We are ordering you to immediately disperse. Failure to comply could result in chemical and/or less lethal munitions being deployed.
That bongo player was putting in his whole heart.
Oh yeah. I love that. I also love that they're like they're mad at the cops who then eventually the cops will have to work for them if they get the revolution that they want.
Oh, true.
But what's funny about this? So I was looking up the.
They don't have to get worried about getting arrested in Chicago.
Because with Avakian in charge, it was just funny because they really do believe these are not reformers. They're not reformers. So it says like RCP leadership says the system cannot be reformed. It must be overthrown and does not participate in charity or elections. Instead, organizing for total revolution. The problem is Avakian promoted, he said, look, vote for Joe Biden to like help us along while we get on with the revolution.
Yeah, if you're still voting, you're not a communist.
Yeah,
clearly.
It says to replace the capitalist system with the socialist system, aiming for communism worldwide. They want world communism.
What what does protesting outside of a mainstream pop country singers concert have to do with your revolutionary principles at all? Like, you're just LARPing.
Well, I mean, they probably would see that he's LARPing. They would probably argue that he himself is also LARPing as like a freedom.
So it's just a mutual LARP.
It's a LARP off.
They're having a LARP off and a mid off.
Freedom, LARPing, freedom loving country artist who's actually bourgeoisie, right?
I mean, both is a LARP. The song is a LARP because it's a city-dwelling rich guy talking about how it goes in a small town and how it goes in small communities that he's not a part of.
Everyone's a LARPer.
And these people are talking about revolution when they probably all have 9-to-5s.
Yeah.
Ruben Hernandez said, Brett, can you talk about Pimp C?
Rapper.
The first one calling out the gay agenda and how the gay mafia is running the industry and how they unalived him. And now when you Google country rap, it's not Pimp C from Texas, it's Lil Nas X.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard that story before. I've never looked too deeply into it, but it would be something interesting to at least look at and talk about. But yeah, Pimp C was a big deal back in the day. My brother loved him. A lot of those artists from that time period. But yeah, so they talk about how Bob Avakian has like his own cult of personality around these people. He's like the least interesting looking person I've ever seen in my entire life.
Can't imagine he is that interesting.
But the communist reformers are everywhere, and I just can't imagine it's such a LARP, given that they're also talking about. But they do say in the if you go to the website, I had it here. They basically talk about how non-violent protest is like it's all they permit. But it's also sad how like back in the day it was considered a big deal to burn an American flag, and nowadays it's just considered passé. Like it happens so much now, and there's so much. And I do believe now, as you know, like it's like we have this dilemma here, right? Where like because of the crony system that we have in this country, the middle class has shrunk, and people who can't seem to get their lives together, can't afford a house. They've been propagandized with decades of nihilist media, decades of nihilist college propaganda, fall into the arms of these cultist mindsets, and so they believe that they're finding purpose in life by protesting outside a Jason Aldean concert. And so there is a fair criticism of the American system, right? Like not of America, but of what we've allowed how government and big business have come together to kind of shrink the middle class and leave people with no hope, and people with no hope fall into the arms of groups like this, and then they end up thinking that their purpose in life is to protest outside of a Jason Aldean concert because he made a song about...
Well said. I mean, with the response to try that in a small town, you would hope that it's just... It's an exclusively online problem. Yeah. Like, the reaction is just people talking about this on the internet. Like, they don't actually care enough to show up in person and protest it.
20 people.
I mean, 20 people at a protest, it's not that much, but these people are out there. Like, they do exist.
It's funny because the more, like, I was talking with Lydia and Andy about it recently. We were talking about, I get frustrated with the anti-boomer propaganda, even though I agree with most of what they're saying.
Because you are a boomer.
Yes. But, they did devalue the currency. They did put in a bunch of programs that have hurt future generations. The problem is everyone thinks that the solve for that is going to be, like, free markets, and that kids are going to fall in line for free markets. I'm like, no, they've been propagandized so much to believe that any free market is just capitalism. So they're going to go the complete opposite direction. And they already are. They're already falling into the hands of people like this, who are telling you that you need to overthrow the government for a communist revolution. It's not going to come out the way you want to by propagandizing, talking about how awful the boomers are without offering solutions.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, if that's your way to go, fine. But you better offer solutions that are clearly thought out, and you better have some very, very eloquent and entertaining people to push those. Like, Elon Musk is a better bet for pushing these ideas for you than your average person on the right, who's just not going to be all that engaging to people who are
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yeah. So I think that the commies are going to have more and more of a hold over the young people as the middle class shrinks, and they're like, you know what? I can't afford a house. I have to work my 9-to-5 job and then go drive for Amazon after, or I have to go then drive for Uber after work. I think on Saturday I'm gonna go protest Jason Aldean to give my life some meaning because they're also said don't get married. Don't have kids because the climate is going to, the Earth is going to explode.
Anti-nuclear family.
Yeah. Like there's nothing left. They have been propagandized on all sides. The reason the left wins is because they have a talking point for every issue. Every single issue the weather has been propagandized to you. There's no such thing as water cooler talk without it being like, did a white guy kill a black guy? It's racism. Did a black guy kill a black guy, or did a white guy kill a white guy? It's gun control. Is it too hot out today? It's climate change. They turn people into revolutionaries and communists because they circle every issue and then get people to go out and protest in the media. They've turned entertainment in their favor. And when one when one country artist comes out with a song that they don't like, then they have to turn on it and not let it be because they aren't actually liberal.
Didn't you notice that the response to try that in a small town was so much stronger? Yeah. The negative response to try that in a small town was so much stronger than Richmond, north of Richmond.
Because there was talking points for both sides on Richmond, north of Richmond.
Are you sure?
I believe that even though I would like to believe that an honest, would you still consider me somewhat like a liberal? I don't consider myself a conservative.
There's nobody on the left that listened to Richmond, north of Richmond, and was like, this is great.
I would like to think that honest liberals would still be happy to hear somebody call out politicians and those that overtax us. Honest liberals.
I wouldn't know, but it does seem weird to me because Richmond, north of Richmond had, well, what did you think? Overall impact? Which one had more
Richmond,
of
north of Richmond had a bigger impact.
But Jason Aldean got way more hate. It feels like.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like they couldn't pin down, like they wanted to hate on him for the fat people stuff. That's what they really wanted to be mad at him for. They're like, you're not body.
Is that what struck the most nerve with people?
Yeah. I think a lot of there's whole playlists on YouTube right now. It says like liberal listens to Richmond, north of Richmond. Mm-hmm. And they like it. So they do like it.
Okay, fair enough.
Again, the honest
no liberals liked the Jason Aldean song?
I don't think so. No, I don't. I don't know how many maybe some old school liberals listen to country music, but that seems like
I liked it. Yeah. I still like it. I don't care.
Mary,
I don't care what anyone says.
Zero Smoke says, does Mary still not like Richmond, north of Richmond? No, she likes it. Just the one that Donald Trump did.
Yeah.
She likes the Donald Trump version of the song.
The DT cover.
Andrina says the wokies were mad about the fudge round line. Yes, of course they were, because you're supposed to just get fat and die at a disgusting weight because body positivity and acceptance.
Except for Donald Trump, he's allowed to be husky.
No way, he's 215 pounds. 215, not a pound more.
Svelte 215.
They definitely don't check either, because when I got my driver's license back in the day, I put my eye color as blue rather than, because neither of my eyes was blue. I had one hazel and one brown, and they didn't have an option. At least I didn't think of asking, like, do you have a way of putting both on here? Because all it would give you is like the three like boxes to put in the initials of those letters. Mm-hmm. So yeah. They don't check. They didn't okay, Mr. President.
You could put in something absolutely insane, and
1,000
it would obviously be fake.
He puts in 150.
How far can you take that?
I love it. I it's better if it, you know what they should do at the election? They should do a weigh-in, and Trump's like, fuck. Like he's got to go get a trick scale to get on. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't think he would look good skinny. He looks good the way he is.
He has to be
he's
intimidating.
Tall and he's super tall. He needs to fill it out.
Did you see the Zachary Bryan, the Zach Bryan, the country star who got arrested for impeding an investigation? Because I guess he got pulled over one night, got into it with a cop, was out of it, went on his way, and then the next day, I guess, he's on his way to an event with his security, who's in a separate car, and that guy got pulled over, and he got off the exit, turned around, and went around to stop behind the cop car, which is a huge no-no.
It is?
Oh, yeah. Like,
Okay.
because the cop's going to be like, who the hell is this person that's not in a cop car that's just getting up behind me, right? And the cop goes, stay in your car. Do not get out of the car. And he didn't listen to him, and he got out, and he got arrested.
Oh, okay. At least he didn't get shot.
But then he apologized, and he's like, I was acting like an idiot. I'm like, you were acting like an idiot the whole way. I was like, you got off the exit, you turned around. He was like, I'm not saying like the like whatever about the cop. Like, I'm no like big fan or hater of law enforcement. They're people doing a job. There's good cops, there's bad cops. This seemed to be a thing where the cop was making a completely valid traffic stop, and he gets out of the car, and the cop's going to be very, very, very nervous about a guy just pulling up behind you and getting out of the car. What is this person doing? He's lucky he didn't get shot.
Yeah.
In that case. So but he's like, I'm so sorry. And then all the cops were like, thank you for apologizing. It was a big circle jerk all around.
BLM, Blue Lives Matter.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.